Morning, everyone. I'll wait for some people to come in here because people always tell me that they miss the beginning of my lives because I don't announce it. So um, I'll wait for a minute. Uh, we are going to be discussing the Cher and Ziggy live. Okay, so I'll wait. Like I said, I'll give people some time to come on in, and we'll talk about this. Um, I am going to say that we are going to be discussing essay with the Wells children. And I know that's extremely triggering to some people. And so if that is something that is going to upset you, make you cry, this is not going to be the live stream for you, or maybe you can come back and revisit it. But yes, we are going to be talking about that. Um, since no one's here yet, I'm just going to go ahead. People can watch the replay. Okay. So I'm going to pull up a part of what Ziggy said on Cher's live stream. It was triggering. I will tell you. It's the first time that I've heard this, and it made me really sad. I'll be honest. It made me very, very sad. But understanding these people and what they have done to their children um, is important here. And I know a lot of people don't think that this should be talked about. I have a different opinion. I think that people should talk about SA. Okay. I feel like the way that we've gotten here to this point in society is because it's not talked about. It's always hush hush. Oh my God, we can't talk about that. Don't say that. Don't talk about that. No, we have to talk about these things, you guys, or they continue to happen. Okay. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. This is Ziggy talking about the Welsh children. Okay, so here we go. Where am I? Here. Okay, so here we go.
This is going to be coming out that I don't know if you've heard, and I'm going to just say it like this, that we are probably going to. I think I have mentioned this kind of, but I was really careful because I had gotten so much shit about, that live and the boys and stuff like that. But I think it's going to come out that the boys, that actually Candace was essaying them.
Yeah, I heard that.
So it's actually, but I heard that Candace is the culprit and not Dawn. But that's, we don't have Summer. Maybe we don't know with Summer.
Okay, so what Ziggy was saying, okay, is that Candace. It's hard for me to say. I'll be honest with you guys. That Candace was potentially, allegedly, essaying the boys, her sons, um, especially the oldest one. Now, I do want to say that Ziggy made it very clear that her source is not the foster parents. Okay, that is not Ziggy's source. There is a friend of the foster parents, and this person, her son, has gotten really close to one of the Wells boys, and so I think that's, I don't know if that's Ziggy's source. I think it is. But to hear that Candace pinched, grabbed, and punched her sons in their private areas is disturbing. Okay, very disturbing, because we all know that Don is a self-admitted, pedophile. But to hear this about Candace, does it surprise me? No, because I fully believe that she did this as well to Hunter. But to her own children, makes me sick to my stomach. It honestly does. And also, we have heard lately that Candace is never getting those boys back. Now, I think that I think that Tennessee has to wait 2 years before they can terminate parental rights. I believe that is correct. But I don't ever see them getting these boys back ever. Ziggy was saying that they were hit with a fire poker. There was a ton of abuse with these boys. They are victims just like Summer. And, even without knowing this information, I have said in prior, streams that Summer did save her brothers, not by choice, but she did. And, so if anything, I think Ziggy did say it best when she said that, Summer's little life was not in vain. So I'm a little emotional about this. I don't know why. It bothers me so much that there's these 3 young boys out in the world that are just suffering, and hopefully they're doing better. According to Ziggy, the middle boy is very intelligent and, getting really good grades in school. And I was happy to hear that. I was happy to hear some good stuff about him. And it sounds like they're adjusting better. She said that they were seeing a therapist that specialized in SA. So there's that. Yes, Jam. Hey, good morning to you. It was hard to hear and it was very sad. I definitely agree with you. There were some people that were obviously, very triggered in that live stream, and they were, saying stuff, but I do think that it's important to talk about. The essaying of children is so vast and so prevalent. And that's the problem, is that people are like, oh no, we can't speak about that. Don't talk about it. Hush, 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 hush. No, it has to be spoken about. It has to be put out there. These people should be named and shamed all day long. Jam, I don't think they're suffering the way I understood it. They were happy and enjoying life. I hope it stays that way. Yes, I know. It's just, I meant suffering more, at the hands of their parents, what their parents did to them. That's what I meant. But yeah, it was really good to hear that the boys are doing much better. Good morning, Elijah. But yes, hearing that Candace was the culprit of that, just, it's weird, a mother to do that to her sons. It's just very strange. I have sons, and I just couldn't imagine grabbing or pulling or punching at their private areas. There's just something mentally wrong with that woman. And, I heard Cher say, you missed a live stream, Elijah, I think, with Ziggy and Cher last night. And Ziggy was talking about the boys. She has a source. It's not the Foster family. Okay. The Foster family is not talking to Ziggy. Let's just be clear about that. But, she was told things about the boys and, what they had endured at the hands of Candace and Don. And she also talks about, the foster home that they're in and that they're happy there. And they seem to be, adjusting well, which is good, which is great news. But there were other things that were said, that Candace potentially essayed or allegedly essayed her sons, mainly the oldest one. and the oldest one was having issues, which, Ziggy also said, that makes sense. He is the oldest. He's been through the most with them, and it makes sense to me as well. So yes, how could a mother hurt her child? Exactly, Elijah. And it seems like it was all of them. She hurt every single one of them. And Don, we've heard about Don beating on them and hitting them. And we heard that, Don allegedly was, smoking pot with Josie, and they were giving Josie alcohol and things like that. Like, this child at 13 is obviously going to have a lot of issues with parents that like that he grew up with. So, Jam, Elijah is heartbreaking, isn't it? I feel like that woman must be pure evil. I do as well. I do as well, Jam. I've never seen a person that is just so, like, she just doesn't care. Like, I mean, but the essay allegations with Candace and her boys it sort of ripped my heart out. It really did, for the kids. I was happy to hear about Wyatt. I'll say that again, that Wyatt, is doing just really well. And I think Ziggy even said he's like almost genius level. He's super smart and doing really, really well in school. And, that made me happy. It makes me happy to know that they're in a home that they can thrive in, where they're not cockroaches everywhere and, no walls on a bathroom and things like that. I mean, those are just the most basic of privacy. How do you go to the bathroom with no walls? It's so baffling to me how that happens. In my opinion, I'm late, but so far I'm loving this. We need to be aware. The lack of awareness is what has gotten us here. Thank you. I'm on 1.5 speed, so I can catch up. Yes, thank you. In my opinion, that's exactly it. And that's exactly why I'm willing to talk about it. And I don't think that people should be ripping Ziggy apart or anyone else. You have to understand that in the true crime genre, you are going to unfortunately hear these sorts of things. You are going to hear about murder and everything right down the line with it. Essay, you're going to hear about dismemberment. You're going to hear pretty much, the worst things that have happened in society. You're going to hear about all of that. And, some people, I think it's just a little bit too much for them and they can't really handle it. And if you can't, that's okay. Don't watch. That's really my advice. Please don't watch things that are going to trigger you or upset you. What did upset me was, as Ziggy was talking about this, there was a person in Cher's chat. Do believe it was one of her mods, but she started saying that she was gonna report the foster parents and all this stuff, and Ziggy sort of pleaded with her, like, please don't do that. That's not my source. The source is not the foster family. They're very protective of these boys, and if you're instrumental in having these children removed from this family, you are doing them an injustice. So it just, that upset me. We can discuss this case, but, starting to call CPS and the foster family and trying to get them in trouble and, the boys removed or whatever people are trying to do, what is your purpose of that? If you hear that they're thriving and they're doing well, leave them alone. Okay. Just leave them alone. We're speaking about Candace here and what she has done. So, Jam, his little brain is still developing. It just sickens me to feel his brain is full of horrible thoughts and drugs. Yeah, exactly, Jam. I obviously, with Josie being the oldest child, obviously he's been through the most with these two parents. And, at such a young age, 13, drinking, smoking weed. And you know, now we're hearing that Candace, again, allegedly, did things to him that were inappropriate and of a sexual nature. um that's just that really disturbed me. I mean, it disturbs me knowing that she most likely did this with Hunter as well, but her own sons, uh I just can't wait for these two to be put under the jail. I really cannot wait for it. I Jam, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I asked her the same in chat. Please don't ruin their lives. They're doing so well. Don't do that. Yeah, I saw that comment and I cringed. Like, oh my gosh, please do not do this. Why? We can discuss a case. And SA is unfortunately a part of a lot of true crime cases, a lot of them. And not speaking about it, or be quiet, don't you dare say that, and blah 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 blah. This is the exact mentality they had back in the day. Why do you think so many children get S8? Because it's not allowed to be talked about. People are not allowed to talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. They even tell the kids, don't talk about it. And it's heartbreaking to me. It should be talked about. And I'm gonna leave that there. Elijah, she is the absolute worst. My heart is so sad for these kids. No one gave a crap. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It just truly is. I wonder about the youngest son. We don't hear a lot about him, little Waylon. I hope he's doing well too, because I think he was the closest to Summer. They were the closest in age. And I remember Candace in the Chris McDonough interview saying that Waylon, would play with Summer and stuff. And I always, he's always like in the back of my mind. Like, I wonder how he is, that his little sister is gone. And he most likely played with her the most, like I said. To lose your little sister, then to lose your parents, it's just, I don't know. In my opinion, thank you for supporting Ziggy. She has invested a lot in this at a huge personal cost, and to see the hate she's getting breaks my heart. I'm not understanding the hate for her with this. I'm really not. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people come to watch true crime and then get so upset if you say things that are true crimes. It's weird to me. I don't know what people expect, that you're going to hear about puppies and rainbows. You're not. You're going to hear some really awful things when it comes to true crime. You just are. So Elijah, gang mentality. Yeah. I've never liked or disliked Ziggy. I don't really have an opinion on her, but I don't understand people hating her for speaking about this. In fact, I commend her for it, for speaking out about it, because so many people are afraid to do that, and I don't know why. I really don't. I know people say, well, the boys are going to get older one day, and they're going to see this, they're going to see that. Maybe they will. I'm not sure. No matter what anyone says online, it's never going to be anything worse than what their parents have done to them. And that's the only reason we're discussing it, is because of Don and Candace. So, I think I'm going to end this here. I do encourage you guys, if you have not watched it, to please go watch Cher and Ziggy's live. There is quite a bit of information. I found that stream to be very good. So, in my opinion, thankfully, the boys are out of that mess. I'm sorry it took Summer going missing for this to happen. Me as well, in my opinion. And I'm not saying in my opinion, that's the name of I have to show you. I'm going to highlight your comment because I keep saying in my opinion and people think I'm probably saying that and I'm not. So yeah, that's the name. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I just want to say good morning to you guys and give my thoughts on that live stream. I'm going to link it in the description. So you guys have a great day. I'm going to have a good day or try to, and I will see you guys later.